Hi there, Henry Smith from IamWealthyandRich.com. Welcome to the video today. What I'm going to do is continue with my documentation of the investment portfolio, cryptocurrency investment portfolio that we're building as part of what's known as Wealth Creation in Action video series. Whereas a portfolio that was started last year, May/June 2020, and grows on a daily basis, and goes up and down on a daily basis. And it wasn't until the beginning of this year, 2021, February, shall I say, I decided to start documenting things. I actually didn't start it for the purpose of documenting. Then a few days later, I started doing a video documentation of the growing process of this portfolio, and it's highs and lows as it goes in an upward trajectory. And it's important to also to examine should have got some water examine, excuse me, the mindset of an investor as we go through these, how you have to think, how you have to handle the ups and downs, because if you don't handle them in the right way, well, you may not end up with the same results as somebody who handles them, in a different way. So there are different ways to handle them, and I think different people handle ups and downs, and just differently. They react differently, and it's all based on your internal makeup, how you think internally when you're investing. Whether you have deep-rooted belief in where this thing is going, or whether you're just following the crowd, and you really don't know why you're doing it. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a financial planner or advisor. I'm not an accountant or CPA. I'm an investor, but understand that all investments carry a risk. I'm prepared to take those risks. Obviously, I've done calculation. So these are calculated risks. And, but, always do your own due diligence, do your own research, and do not invest more money than you can afford to lose. With that said, what I'm going to do, I share my screen, I go through, look at the portfolio in terms of the overall balance, and then document it, the amounts, etc., whether it's up or down based on the previous day. And then we, just talk about a few things that are on my mind. So I'm going to share my screen now and go to the spreadsheet. This is the spreadsheet I'm talking about. It was started in February 2021. At that time, from humble beginnings, the portfolio had reached six figures, 106,000. Now, if you've been following this over the previous couple of months, you'll actually notice now I did a new column, couple of new columns here. Because I wanted to track the price of Bitcoin as well. It was very, very easy to add the column. I wasn't tracking it before. I was really tracking, and I'll show you what I was tracking, this column and this column on here. This one and this one is what I was tracking before. I decided recently, why not track Bitcoins as well? So that's what you might notice if you've been watching this video. This is a column that's different from yesterday or the day before or the week before. So we've been adding all these figures, and really, let's say the right figure here, when it's in green, that's when careful here. When it's been green, that's when the figure has got the portfolio has gone up on the previous day, and we've had many consecutive days of it going up. And when it's in red, it's when it's gone down on the previous day. We've had many days of it going down, and sometimes it goes down 1 day or 2 days in a row, or so on and so forth. Then it always turns around, and this is the interesting thing about this market. It's always growing and expanding and contraction, expanding and contracting, expanding and contracting, as different things happen in the market. But it's going in. You can see quite clearly it's going in one direction. So, and it's really exciting when it does contract and go backwards, because it's the time to actually buy more and get ready for the next expansion. So there are lots of mini expansions and contractions within a cycle. And then there's a big major one at the end, ready for the next cycle. You know, it's really interesting market. It's dynamic, not static. Certainly not dynamic. Certainly not static. Not static. And some people replace that, you know, the dynamic. They replace that with the word volatile. But I like to use the word dynamic. So I'm going to enter today's figures. So we are today on the 25th of April, 2021, and the time at the moment, I won't put the time just yet until I put the exact figure, comes from this page here. So this is the asset summary of one of the portfolios tracking, and information comes in through this live feed here, through a portfolio, which then puts the final figures, balance figures here. Now this portfolio consists of one Bitcoin and an assortment of alternative cryptocurrencies known as altcoins. And this is the total here. And then this is in dollars on the left. On the right hand side, we've got the equivalent, same portfolio equivalent in pounds, GBP, Great British Pound. So that's what that is. So I'm going to take this figure here, the total of the altcoins, which is 183,550.69. 183,550.69. Oh no, sure that's 183,550.69. That's correct. Yeah, so let's just make sure we got that right. 183,550.69. That's correct. And I will bring this down here, and this should be, it's a plus on yesterday, so it's a plus on yesterday. That's good. And it's all good, by the way. Up, down. I won't bother about Bitcoin just yet, because that kind of works out itself. And when you minus the altcoins from the total balance. So the total balance is 223,475.28. 223,475.28. 223,475.28. And I will bring this figure here down. And what do we got? So, wait a minute. Okay, so yeah, so this is lower. So this will go in red. And color is red minus. And this, oh, this kind of comes automatically. Well, I've obviously got this one part wrong. I only put this figure in yesterday, and it's not kind of working the way it should be. It should be this, I90 minus D90. This is not right. 21 minus D91. Well, I'll have to look at that. I just put this in yesterday, and this figure, and maybe I've calculated the formula wrong, because this should not be right. This should actually be showing this 49,924. So I don't know why it's not showing that, but we shall see. I'll work that out and find out why it's not, because it should not be showing 39. I don't know why is it showing 39? It's just showing 49. It's just showing 39. 10,000 difference here. So I will check the formula, the Excel formula, and see. That's what I did. I thought it was a good idea yesterday to start tracking Bitcoin, but if it's going to mess everything up, then I'm not going to bother. The figure's here anyway, and this figure comes from here. Coin market cap. Just do a refresh. Yeah, because it's not certainly not selling. Well, that's what it is at the moment. And my spreadsheet is connected to this, and it will refresh 49. Let's just change again. 49.90 something. And we've got 49.928. Anyway, what's today? Okay, it's just refreshed a minute ago. So this refreshes every 10 minutes, so this will catch up. I don't know why this is not computing the way I want it to, but I will look at that. The main thing is these figures. This is a minus from yesterday, and this is a plus from yesterday, which is interesting. So we shall continue yesterday. We'll continue tomorrow, rather. So what I'll do is, so I'll get the maths right on the formula, the Excel formula right on the Bitcoin thing. And if I can't, then I'll just drop it. Go back to the way I was doing it 2 days ago. So anyway, the key is what I wanted to talk about is we've got two parts to this. There's the mindset in terms of the investor, the wealth and prosperity mindset you've got to develop, and then there's the investment strategy, which is using the right investment strategy on a basic level and a more advanced level with alternative Bitcoin. And we've got both of them put together, but to just talking about Bitcoin alone as an investment strategy is good. It's a great place to start. And the reason why it's a great place to start is I wanted to show you some things here. Share my screen. Share the screen. This is what I want to talk about. You see this here. These are inflation rates, true inflation rates of some other countries and who have got inflation really bad. See what's happening at the moment. What's happened since last March 2020, has devastated a lot of countries' currencies. Okay, and it's also affecting the UK and the US currency as well. But many of these have gone into hyperinflation, and it's really affecting a lot of people dramatically. And that is why a lot of people need to invest in cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and so on, in order to stabilize the losses that the devaluation, the debasement of their currencies that they are experiencing. Okay, and you can see the top 14. But there's more than that. There's no difference. They're just not. This list is just not long enough. And this comes from John Hopkins, so it's not just something that was just made up. But here's the USA. USA N2 money stock supply. Okay, money has always been printed. They always keep printing more. As they do, it devalues the currency, the existing currency. But you can see what happened here in 2020. In fact, they discontinued showing it because it was going to look really, really, really embarrassing. So they discontinued showing it. But up until this point, it's just gone into hyper drive, so to speak. And that's a sharp, very, 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 very sharp up curve. If you look at what we've got here, 1990 something, 2000. Whatever happened, I think, the 2008. This was the 2008 crisis, which people think was terrible. 2007, 2008. So that's how it was quite terrible, and the government had to print a ton of money to bail out the banks from what they did. And this is what it did. But compared to that, and we went into recession for 3 or 4 years after that. Compared to what's happened now, it just makes this look like a blip. This recession of 2008 looks like a blip. Well, it is a blip compared to now. And this is not even finished yet, by the way. They just can discontinue showing it because it can frighten people. And it's not just the US, it's the same as the UK as well, the same thing, same period of time, okay? This happened all over the world, okay? And so people need to understand what is happening. The interesting thing about it is happening, I've got my wonderful whiteboard. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find my wonderful whiteboard. What was that whiteboard called? Whiteboard? White. Oh, there it is. There's the whiteboard. Yeah, here it is. Another artistic drawing. Get ready for another artistic drawing, folks. Share that screen. You know, here's the interesting thing. I'm going to try and draw my masterpiece here. A lot of people on a rock. This is what's happening here. Just imagine if you're on a rock, big giant rock. You know, and you got lots of people. These are meant to be people on it. Okay, it's hundreds of thousands, millions of people on this rock. All right, and this rock is falling down. Okay, and the reason why you don't really realize that you're falling down because you're all falling down together. But if there was another rock here, it's here. Okay, let's say up here. So much for my wonderful drawing. It's only then you would know that you're falling, because relative to this, you realize, but relative to each other, you don't seem to be falling. Not that dramatically, but don't be deceived, okay? Because this rock is staying stationary, okay? And other rocks, there are some other rocks that are staying stationary, right? So relative to those, you're falling. And but relative to everyone on this same rock, okay, right? Rock. Relative to everyone on the same rock, you're not falling. Everything's staying the same. And because all the governments are printing at the same time. You see what I mean? And that's one of the agreements that they actually made with each other in one of the big leader meetings they had. That, you know, what we need to do is to print more money, okay? And they said, well, if we do print more money, this was a discussion that was said. It's not to the exact words, okay, I'm just paraphrasing it. If we print more money, it's going to devalue my currency. You know, if I did print, you know, devalue my currency relative to yours, then they said to each other, not if we all do it at the same time. So while it's going down, the real value of things are here. And eventually, you know, this will go down and continue to go down, you know, and continue with everybody. And so what it looks like these are going up. Well, they're not going up. This is going down. Okay. This is the true you need to understand really what's really happening and how to really protect yourself. So those that jump ship, they jump onto this rock here, right? Let's just say, you know, those who are wise quickly jump onto this rock here, right? A few guys here, you know, few guys here, while this one continues to go down. You understand? This is what's happening, guys. And this is why you need to protect yourself. okay? Or you're going to end up like everyone else. Well, 95% of people anyway, 99% of people. You're going to everyone else. The wealthy jump to protect themselves. Okay, that's what they've done. They jumped off this rock and things, and while you guys, not you guys, but the guys who are remaining here on it, are just going down together, and they don't understand why things are getting more expensive, and just to understand how some other people seem to become extremely rich all of a sudden. What are these guys doing up here to make money? They're working harder and harder. You're going to be working exponentially harder for less and less returns. You're going to be working exponentially harder for less and less returns. That is what's happening if you stay on the main rock. Especially if you put all your assets on the main rock. You're going to be working harder and harder for less return. And it's the same way, devaluation of the currency is like if you had shares in a company. If you ever watched Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, you hear them talking about shares. What's your share? How much equity share does you have? Or, are there any other equity investors and so on? And the person might say, oh yeah, I'm going to bring in another bunch of investors. And the dragons don't like that, or the sharks don't like that. They say, well, if you bring some other investors, they invest, you're going to dilute my equity. You're going to dilute it. You understand? Because you dilute it when you print more shares. When you print more currency, you dilute the value of the currency. It's just common sense. So the government's only solution to what's going on is to print more. And they've said they will print more. They said they have the tool to do it, and they will print as much as they want. In the budget, Reggie Sunak said they will spend as much as they just spend is another word for print. Okay, print. Okay, that's what. Okay, spend is print. And the same as the government, the US government, they're rolling out massive multi-billion stimulus packages and infrastructure multi-billion packages. Where do you think that money is coming from? It's coming from printing. So what that is going to do to the currency is, like I said, this kind of stuff, inflation, okay? In stuff, obviously they won't report it here, they'll just continue reporting it here. It will just continue to go up. And like I said, those who have jumped ship, okay, those who are smart enough to jump ship, okay, to cryptocurrency, okay, BTC, Bitcoin, and the like, will preserve their wealth. Gold is also a preserver of wealth. Some people have jumped to gold, and gold is good as well. I haven't got a problem with gold, okay? Gold is good, but it's not as efficient as Bitcoin, BTC. Okay, it's not as efficient, but it's good. Okay, it's going down as well, but it's going down very, very slowly. This is going down at 10 to 15%. Ooh. And that means percent, guys. I should have done it. Right? That's what this is going down as. Gold is only going down at about 2%. So it's not bad. And will continue going down for 2%. Okay. Bitcoin is deflationary. And it's going to go, it's deflationary. So there's a fixed amount of time. There's no limit. This is limitless. There's no limit to what this will go down to. There's a limit here. There's a smaller limit here as well, but this is fixed on what it will go down. That's it, and it cannot be budged. That's why it's the most secure. This is slower. It is very hard to produce more gold, but you can produce more. You cannot produce more Bitcoin other than what has been stipulated in the program. Nothing can change it. Nothing can influence supply. Supply can be influenced here, and obviously the government can supply as much print as much as here is unlimited. So you just need to know where what rock you want to stand on, basically. Do you want to stand on what rock you would? This is the worst place to be. The worst place to be. in this central rock here, to put all of your eggs in that basket. I'm not saying you don't have to have some cash or some fiat money, but to put all your assets and all your business is built on this, whether your career is built on this, your whole security, financial security is built on this. No, the government want you to stay on this. Don't get this thing. The government don't want you to be rich. They don't want you to be rich. Please understand that. So they'll tell you all kinds of things to make you sure you stay on this. But I want me to be rich. I want you to be rich. And I'm telling you, you need to get out. Okay? Not completely, but to whatever proportion you can tolerate. All right? At least have a foot on here, if you can put a foot on there, and so that you're basically protecting yourself. Okay? Because when it comes down here, you're going to be looking up here, and this will look very, very, very expensive to you. Well, it's not. And this will look very, very cheap to us up here. Very cheap. Life will become very cheap. Houses, cars, everything would be so cheap. And so it's good for us. Okay, it would be like sales are on. January sales. We could just buy anything. I'll have 10, please. Okay? But the things will be so expensive. It's not, but you have been warned. Okay, this is a warning. Not a warning from me, but it's a warning of what's happening. You need to understand what's happening and protect yourself, your family, your financial future, your family's future. Okay, it's all in your hands. Okay, but anyway, I just wanted to share what's happening. So it doesn't matter what's happening, the market's ups and downs. You need to really understand what's happening in reality. Okay, what's happening in reality. Okay, this is what's happening in reality. So you can get to our website, by the way. We have a program to help you develop that mindset strategy, and your first investment strategies are absolutely free. And if you want to get more sophisticated, you apply for one of our webinars on the altcoin strategy, and we can show you that. It's actually free. Just go to our website. Website's down somewhere. Underneath this video is our website, and there's something on this video that shows you how to get into our website. And just fill in the short form and you'll get the information. So with that, I want to thank you very much for listening. Have a wonderful and fantastic day. And I shall speak to you in the next video. Bye.